I'm very aware of the fact that if I hadn't gotten a diagnosis, my immune system would have continued to attack my brain, and I wouldn't be able to sit here and be the person I am today. Just a general approach in the medical system, it can be very dangerous being a teenage girl. One of the things that was very clear was that there was some kind of gender breakdown.
Gender breakdown. Aha. Okay, let's get on with this bull.
Vasectomy, covered. Viagra, covered. Vagina, not covered. You think they'd make it a little less obvious?
Covered by what? Your government health insurance or your employer health insurance? And what about the vagina is not covered? I doubt you're talking about birth control because Viagra is covered, according to this clip. So I'm going to assume that it's talking about abortions. If that's the case, well, abortions are not the same as Viagra and having a vasectomy.
I was 15, in 10th grade of high school. All of a sudden I started having like some cognitive issues and some memory and confusion. One of the most vivid memories I have is sitting in a geometry test and just like thinking that area was feet, like I wasn't even speaking the language of math. And that slowly just became more and more confused until the point where it became very clear that there was something neurologically wrong going on. Symptoms that looked like hallucinations. I didn't know who the president was. I really didn't know where I was. Some of the male doctors were pushing more for a mental diagnosis and saying that this was a kind of mental illness that had to be looked into. There were 2 female psychiatrists who evaluated me and kept saying, you have to find something natural. We've talked to this girl, she's lucid, there's something physical going on here that you need to find. They ended up doing every single test possible.
So if they listened to the psychiatrists, then how's it sexist at all? If they were sexist, they wouldn't listen to the female psychiatrists at all. And you also said that they ended up doing every test possible. So if they were sexist, why'd they do every single test? If they really wanted to get those women off of their backs, they would probably just do a couple tests rather than doing every single test.
And on the 10th day, they found on a blood test, this really rare autoimmune blood test, that I had an encephalopathy, Hashimoto encephalopathy, which means my immune system had been attacking my brain. And that's what had been causing all of those symptoms. And I think that just the whole medical system in general needs to evolve in ways that it hasn't. A lot of it's based off of the history of our country and how we've treated women in the past.
Citation, please.
But it's not something that should continue because people's lives are being lost.
Autoimmune diseases are very difficult to diagnose. I should know because I have a relative who has an autoimmune disease.
You have to be aware of the assumptions we're making and really make sure that we're getting the full history and not just assuming that if you're a 15-year-old girl, you have anxiety or depression.
Doctors make assumptions all the time, or rather, educated guesses. And to support those guesses, they do tests. For example, they sent you to some female psychiatrists. They found that you were lucid, that you did not have any mental disorder. Then you were sent back to the doctors to have other tests. If you want to say it's a healthcare issue, you could probably argue that. But is it a sexism issue? No. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share it, comment down below and tell me what you thought. Follow me on all my social media like Minds.com, BitChute, Gab, Facebook, Twitter. And right now I do this as a hobby, so if you want more videos possibly in the future, support me on Patreon, Ko-fi, or Streamlabs. And if you want something to go with your donation, get something from my merch store at TeePublic or Teespring. So go do all that, and I'll see y'all later.
We bop and pretty hot. I'm as happy as I can be. Whoa,